the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, we'll be watching the Minnesota Timberwolves playing against the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix comes into this one following a loss to the Grizzlies in Memphis. A crushing defeat in that one. Still with a sour taste in their mouths, they're looking to play much better. Guys, during the 20s,
it's that time of the year. Happy holidays, everyone, from 2K Sports as we get set to bring you some mid-season NBA action. Joined in the booth with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, this is Kevin Harlan. Our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. For the Minnesota Timberwolves earlier this season, they were the winning team in the last matchup against Phoenix. They have taken all the decisions so far this season, jumping ahead 3-0 in the season series.
And you know what? Up against a weak defense, they were allowed to do pretty much.
And with tip-off coming up.
Thank you, Kevin. Now, Jimmy Butler survived a tough upbringing in Tomball, Texas. He said, that's all anybody ever wanted to talk about. But I don't want that to define me. If I'm stuck in the past, then I won't get it.
Thanks, David. You can tell Butler has a good head on his shoulders, an elite talent in this league because of the hard work he puts in. Now about halfway through the season, Brent, some teams looking great, but we still have a long way to go. We're talking about an 82-game schedule that is meant to put teams and players really to a full test.
Yeah, it's really something. I oftentimes find myself, Kevin, looking back after 14 years of playing at a team's schedule for an upcoming season, and I scratch my head and I go, wow, I used to do that? I mean, that's not easy to do.
It's very difficult. I agree. And the starting lineup for the Timberwolves. Gibson is the 4 with Towns in the middle. Jimmy Butler is out there with Brooks, and it's Muhammad in at the 3. And here we go. Fast break. Towns has got it. Back to Butler. Takes a 3. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
And how about the improvement of Butler in the catch-and-shoot game? Every year he seems to get a little more comfortable.
Bledsoe kicks to Booker. Shot from free throw range. Here's Jackson. That shot, no good. Great D that time from Gibson. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Brooks misses.
The defense was in the area, but not really effective. He has to put away this layup.
And Booker kicks to Bledsoe. Pass to Jackson, and the dunk by Jackson.
Good awareness from EB there. He knows that's his job. Get the ball to the open guys as the point guard.
And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Williams. Out of bounds, it'll go to the Suns.
And if you're going to grab it, grab that thing. He just lazily reaches out for that, and the result is it's deflected right off of his hand.
So first quarter just over a minute and a half in. And stolen by Butler. Inside. And it's Brooks. That time on the assist by Butler. Brooks has got his second basket of the game.
And you can see that Butler is the total package. Solid at recognizing when one of his guys is open.
Williams, first shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
That floater is a thing of beauty, effective when it's used the right way.
The feed now to Muhammad. Pass to Gibson. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
Well, at 6'9", Taj Gibson has the ability to get up there and throw it down.
For Phoenix, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. There's the pick. Got a piece of it. Muhammad with the steal. And stolen by Booker. Here's Bender. And Bender throws it down.
Just great anticipation and awareness to come up with the steal and then trigger the fast break.
Out to Brooks, and Muhammad has it in the corner, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. Muhammad's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Dishes it to Williams. First quarter of play, we're about 3 minutes in, and there it is for him. And the Timberwolves with possession here. 4-point game. Fresh from a win against the Nuggets.
Away from home, you got to execute, and they did that flawlessly.
Never really perfect on the offensive end, and probably 1 or 2 possessions they'd love to have back, but on the whole, a tremendous synergy on offense. That's a gorgeous assist. Outstanding at finding his guys in the spots where they want the basketball.
The kick outside to Butler. Back to Gibson. Over Williams, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
So easy to respect Taj Gibson and the way he goes about his business. A strong leader on and off the floor.
That's good from Gibson. You look at this Suns roster, and the strength is in their backcourt for sure.
Yeah, both Booker and Bledsoe averaging around 20 points or more a game last season. Creating for others, though, on a consistent basis. I think something that backcourt can improve upon. And the Suns were near the bottom in the league in terms of assists as a team last year.
Butler with the ball. Eric Bledsoe covering. No good from Gibson.
I know it's physically impossible, but he's got to be kicking himself. He knows he's got to make them.
Minnesota in the lead. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
Gotta love the effort there. An undersized 4 who can really make things happen with that leaping ability.
That's tipped. Stolen by Brooks. He feeds it to Towns. And they pick up 2. Towns has got his first 2 points of the night.
And from day one, Towns has been one of the NBA's top post players. A versatile, well-rounded game on the low block. It doesn't hurt that he can step outside and knock down the jumper either.
Shots good by Williams.
Just a great attack mentality. Got right through the defense to finish strong inside.
Brooks kicks to Towns. He dishes it to Muhammad. Right through the knee for the layup. Muhammad's got 5 points so far.
Man, he's shooting the ball very well. In addition to creating for both himself and his teammates out there on a roll.
And there's the foul. It'll go on Aaron Brooks. That is his first foul of the game. Minnesota on D, leading by 5. Booker right side. The shot. And a great assist by Bledsoe as that one goes in. Bledsoe's got 5 assists in the game. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Butler passes to Towns. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
To the paint. Here's Williams. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. 8 points for him.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Butler dishes to Towns. Rebound by the Suns. They come into this one following the loss to the Grizzlies.
Tough night. I mean, they attacked on both ends, and unfortunately for them, they just got called for a lot of fouls.
Well, unfortunate's a good word, Greg, but on the other hand, you have to make an adjustment. Not every game is going to be called the same way, so adjust to the whistle.
Brooks outside. From down in the low post, it goes.
And already you're seeing great execution from both teams.
Yeah, lots of points early, and the game plans on both sides, at least offensively, working to perfection.
Outside Jackson. Williams up on top. And here's Booker from the arc. Drains it from beyond the arc. Booker's got it all tied up now for the Suns.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Towns kicks to Muhammad. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own. Muhammad's got a pair of threes now in the first quarter for the Timberwolves. And the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
A moment here to see the stats for Butler. He's been on a remarkable tear this past month. 11th in steals. And not many players convert opportunities inside as well as he. Top 15 in field goal percentage.
As we've seen, he's a difficult defender to bring the ball up against. Quick feet, quick hands. Always looking to force a mistake. The Suns making a switch here. Chris is checked in. Jang, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. Jones comes in for Aaron Brooks. Kicks it to Towns. There's the dish to Jang. The shot by Muhammad. Nobody around. Good on the triple. Muhammad's got 11 points.
And they can't allow him too many open looks like that. That's just inviting trouble.
Williams passes to Bledsoe. Count it. Good.
Bledsoe likes to get to the interior. That time, a good job getting near the bucket to score.
Bledsoe against Jones. Here's Muhammad. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
How about 5 of 6 to start? Looks like he brought his A game.
Here's Williams. Jimmy Butler with the rebound.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
And Jones now atop the key. Pass to Jang. And stolen by Chris. Bledsoe against Jones. Bledsoe kicks to Chris. Jones against Bledsoe. To the wing on the left. From deep. And there's Chris. That's good on the assist from Eric Bledsoe. Bledsoe's got assist number 7 for him tonight. Timberwolves leading by 3. Jones kicks to Zhang. To the middle. And stolen by Chris. Booker against Butler. There's Jackson with the 3. Rebound, Minnesota.
And looking at Towns and what he can do on the floor already at his age is impressive. This is a guy who's going to be a 20-10 player perhaps for the rest of his career. And as young as he is, I tell you, the sky is the limit.
Knocked away. And here's Booker from the arc. And a great assist by Bledsoe as that one goes in. And that's now 10 points for Devin Booker. And Muhammad kicks to Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
Oh, that's straight TNT, baby. Explosive.
That was pretty. And he just has that effortless knack for getting inside. Suns trail by 4. And when you look at the second year for Towns, it's comparable to other great big men in the history of the NBA. And Greg, I'm talking about players in the top 50 of all time.
Yeah, I mean, just on the sophomore season stats, he looks like he projects to be one of the all-time greats. Comparable numbers to some of the best who have ever played it. Think of these names: Hakeem, Duncan, Ewing, and the Admiral. Maybe we'll be saying Karl Anthony Towns as well.
Catching up on the changes for Phoenix. Lenz checked in for Williams. TJ Warren comes in for Jackson. Heights checked in for Devin Booker. And Tyler Hughes subbed in for Eric Bledsoe. And let's take a look at the playmaking here. This chart with the assist totals split between the front court and the backcourt tonight for Phoenix.
This backcourt is really shouldering the load in terms of the ball movement and great assists. When you look at the overall contributions compared to the bigs, nice work on distributing the ball.
And free throw, good from Zhang. And Brent, 14 years in the NBA, you spent about half your time on the defensive end. Of all the guys you were matched up against, who was surprisingly difficult to cover?
It's funny, Kevin, because a lot of coaches would tell you I did not spend half of my time on the defensive end.
Well, I know better. I know better.
Surprisingly difficult to stop, I would tell you, it would be Mitch Richmond. Many years in Sacramento playing for the Kings. He was known as the Rock, and I can tell you why. Running into him and his physicality as a two-guard was very, very difficult to stop. One of the game's greatest two guards.
Sturdy, wasn't he? He was thick. He was hard to move is what I think about.
He was very thick and physical, which was something that I was certainly not. And they also ran a myriad of screens for him on every possession. The most potent offensive player they had was Mitch Richmond, and they would get him open every time. So a very difficult cover for him.
It's stolen by Jones. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Mahinmi dishes to Jones. He kicks it to Crawford. Feeds it to Muhammad. It's Jones on the way. Shot clock at 5. Timberwolves passing it around. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. Chance now to check out the NBA's most efficient scorers. Taj Gibson on top. Second, Karl Anthony Towns.
You can't say enough about these two guys shooting this season. Both their percentages, just incredible stuff.
Minnesota leading by 8. And here's Mahinmi. He had 16 points in the win against Denver.
And guys, in addition to that scoring, he was absolutely tenacious on the defensive end. A complete two-way game for him. Finished with 3 steals, I think, and that was a difference maker.
Phoenix has gone 4-7 from three-point range so far in the first. Now, here's Ulis, defended by Jones. Plan a screen. Now, here's Ulis, looking to end the drought. The shot will not fall. And as the first quarter wraps up, already a double-digit lead. The Timberwolves on top. They lead by 11. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. Welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And a comfortable margin for the Timberwolves here, guys.
Aggressive defense in that first period. They forced several miscues.
You just start to wonder, how did we get to this score at the end of one? I think those steals really established momentum in their favor.
Timberwolves leading by 11. And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. And Phoenix looking who they've got on the floor. They've got Warren. Jared Dudley out there with Alex Len. Then there's Brandon Knight. And it's Ulis in at the 1. Bucket is good. Crawford's got the first basket of the second quarter for Minnesota.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Over in the corner, Dudley. The 3. And that comes off the assist by Ulis.
Defense cannot let guys get into that kind of comfort zone. You have to patrol the three-point line or you risk getting burned.
Jones kicks to Mahinmi. And he lays it straight in. Mahinmi's got his second basket of the night.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Ulis passes to Warren. Quarter number 2. We're about a minute in.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Jang dishes to Mahinmi. Back to Jang. Shoots over Dudley. Will not go. This is off the front iron. That's tipped. He's got a clear path. Here's Jang, and finished off by Jang.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Well, terrific anticipation using the hands. How are you not protecting the basketball in that situation?
Mahinmi down low. Playing on him. Here's Jang. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Jang's got the lead up to 14 now for Minnesota.
Nice job creating for the easy deuce.
Ulis kicks to Warren. They set the pick. Now here's Ulis, defended by Jones. The 15-footer, and the Suns tack on 2 more.
Obviously a mix-up defensively on that possession.
Muhammad, the pass to Mahinmi. Misses from short range. For Phoenix, they've gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter. Here's Knight, and the layup is good after a nice lead pass.
The Knight is solid at getting loose inside. He finds a way to score deep in the paint.
Jones kicks to Zhang, and finished off by Zhang.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And to me, this is why they're winning, guys. Unlikely players stepping up huge against a defense that's really nowhere to be found.
And first time out of the game called for Phoenix. And Brent, even though it might be somewhat counterintuitive, the numbers show that up-tempo styles are fairly high in efficiency. That may surprise some people. Why do you think that's so?
Well, I think what gives in that scenario, Kevin, is it's so hard to scramble back with teams that are operating in the first 6 or 7 seconds of the shot clock to cover the three-point line. All of a sudden, you're running out to guys and opening up space in the interior. That's going to open up drive opportunities to the lane and easy layups. And where you see that most are big men who are getting taken advantage of by running back into the paint. Those threes are worth more than 2. That math class pays off.
It does. I can tell. Cole Aldridge. He's checked in for Minnesota. Brooks comes in for Shabazz Muhammad. And for those of you just joining us, we're in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. Ulis dishes to Warren. Len sets a screen for Warren. A second chance effort. Doesn't go that time. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. Moving on from this game, they're scheduled to take on the Lakers at the Staples Center. That'll be the last game of their very short 3-game road tour. It's Jones on the wing. The pass to Mahimi. Now the feed to Aldridge. Back to Mahimi. It's hauled in by the Suns.
Well, you could tell right there he just wanted to go for the jam, but the defense too good and distracting.
Ulis kicks to Dudley. Shoots over Aldridge. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Dudley's got 7.
And maybe a little disengaged in the first quarter. Ball didn't come his way. He's really provided some scoring in the second quarter of action.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. Suns trail by 12. Here's Ulis. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game.
And while we have a chance, how about the numbers for Aldridge? He's averaging about 7 points a game, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. And he's really been pulling his weight. He's had a hand in some big plays here recently.
I think you look across the board right now, and he's just doing a much better job. The numbers bear that out.
Bender, he's checked in for Phoenix.
Well, Knight confident shooting it off the pass.
Here's Mahimi. That one's all good. Now he's 3 for 5 from the field.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
Ulis passes to Knight. Brooks on the double team. Dudley dishes to Ulis. Nice ball movement by Phoenix. Jones against Knight. And Aldridge sends it back. And now here comes Jones leading the break.
A moment here now to see the numbers for Aaron Brooks. Really been a key contributor over the past month. First in steals, and he's also ranked second in assists. Needless to say, an elite playmaker.
And as you said, #1 in steals this season. He's the sneakiest ball hawk in the league right now. Hide everything you've got because he's coming after you. Some changes for Phoenix. Devin Booker comes in for Brandon Knight, and Eric Bledsoe subbed in for Tyler Ulis. So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses.
You know, I watched Jared Dudley, and he just doesn't get enough credit for how good he is at shooting the basketball. But one of the things he does so well is he sets himself up. He anticipates the pass, and from all his experience, he knows when he gets into those open spaces that he can find his shot and find his rhythm. That finds results.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones.
I mean, the stroke looks good. He's moving well out there. What a sensational start to this game. Perfect from the field.
Timberwolves leading by 12. And Brent, as you said, Dudley, a player who has been around the league for a long time now and always manages to blend himself into a team very well.
Well, Jared Dudley is a professional and a guy that every coach has enjoyed having in his locker room. Understands his role, understands his limitations, still capable of knocking down three-point shots, but teams are happy to always have him as part of what they're doing.
And how about breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk?
A nice way to pad that lead a little more. You're right. There's the foul. It's on Mahinmi. That's his first foul. Jackson, he's checked in for T.J. Warren. Taj Gibson's checked in for Minnesota. Butler comes in for Tyus Jones. Phoenix calls timeout. Brent, coming down the stretch of a tie game, some coaches like to substitute for offense and defense. Others don't. What would be your preference if you were coaching?
I think the idea has to totally do with matchups, Kevin. You're looking out on the floor. If all of a sudden the guy you want with the ball has a mismatch or an advantage, I'm going to stay away from any sort of timeout to give a coach 60 seconds to talk about something that he could probably shut down. I might not be able to be as creative as what's just happened in the flow of the game, and I'll trust my player to make the right play for me at that time.
These are the top distributors of the basketball for the last 10 games as shown on the 2K leaderboard. Second is Aaron Brooks.
And those games have seen him dropping more dimes than you might have thought possible.
Booker against Butler. Over in the corner, Dudley. Good. A nice assist from Booker. Dudley's got 12 in the game.
You know, he has single-handedly helped them carve into this lead thanks to his scoring in the quarter.
Brooks kicks to Aldridge. In the corner, it's Crawford. A three-pointer off the mark.
I think what I'd like to see from him in this quarter is getting going from the perimeter. Hit a three in the first, nothing in the second.
Pass to Bledsoe. Back to Jackson. Gibson with the steal. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Brooks leading the charge. Here's Butler. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
Yeah, that was the third straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Stolen by Brooks. Up and in for the basket. Number 4. That makes him 4 for 5 now.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
To the inside, and so it looks like the Suns will retain possession here. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. You look at the Timberwolves. They've been in peak form as we've watched them play some tremendous basketball with an eye toward the postseason. And of course the Suns just way behind.
And seeing where the Suns are, they weren't part of the discussion of teams on the rise as we came into the year. And now, quite frankly, we know why. If anything, they've taken a step back.
There's still some chances to find some positive as the season comes to an end. Even if it's not a playoff spot, just some kind of forward momentum heading into the offseason.
Great awareness. No reason to take it inside there against the taller man.
Yeah, most analytics will tell you that the mid-range jumper is not an efficient shot, but you see how effective with guys like that it can be.
Aldridge, the pass to Gibson. That's good, and he's now 3 for 4 from the field.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
Suns trail by 15. Here's Bledsoe. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Try to prevent Bledsoe from charging inside. Easier said than done. Once he sees the lane, pretty much over for the defense.
Passes it to Crawford. Out left to the wing. Aldridge with it. His last outing, he had 8 points. Misses from close range.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Up top, Bledsoe. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good. Bledsoe's got 6.
Bledsoe showing some faith in the floater.
Rebounded by Jackson, and the foul on Cole Aldridge. That is his first foul of the game. Williams, he's checked in for Phoenix. And a change for the Timberwolves. Towns, he's checked in for Cole Aldridge. Knocked loose. And the dunk by Towns.
Out quickly, then the beautiful execution. You can't do it any better.
There's running the floor, and then there's running the floor with purpose. And I love the energy on this play.
Phoenix calls timeout.
And I like this timeout. You're getting terrible rim protection right now.
Well, you got to ask your team to give you a little bit more effort because there's just not a lot of fire on the defensive end.
The pause in the action. Let's look at the numbers for Karl Anthony Towns. Averaging about 27 points a game, 17 rebounds, and 6 assists. And he's a threat to go off in any game from anywhere.
I love it when guys tap back into that gift. All these guys at some point were that kind of player in their career. Fun to see it show up here.
On defense, the Timberwolves. Booker dishes to Jackson. Nice ball movement by Phoenix. Clock at 4, and so it looks like the Suns will retain possession here. Just 3 to shoot. Count that one, and the Minnesota lead has been cut down now to just 11 on the bucket from Chris.
Well, the confidence of Marquise Chris continues to grow from that range.
And it's Marquise Chris with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Muhammad's checked in. Dishes to Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
Oh, that's straight TNT, baby. Explosive.
That was pretty, and he just has that effortless knack for getting inside. Bledsoe kicks to Williams. Pass to Chris. It's good. Great play by Williams to set it up. Williams has got 3 assists tonight.
That's good passing down low. He's good at working the ball deep into the post.
Gibson in the post, covered by Chris. And Muhammad kicks to Gibson. Out to Brooks for 3. That shot is off, coming up empty for the second time this game. 4 for 6. Here's Booker. And the lead is down inside single digits. Booker's got 4 points this quarter.
And despite the hot start from beyond, they've gotten away from shooting the triple.
And more, it's looking like Devin Booker, the 13th pick in the 2015 draft, is going to be one of the biggest steals of that draft class.
And he's one that all GMs are looking at, and they wish they could have a redo. I mean, Booker was very young when he entered the draft, and some teams maybe shied away from that. But clearly he's shown that he could be one of the best players in that class. And started hot, and he's only gotten hotter.
And it goes out of bounds. That one off Gibson. The Suns making a switch here. Len's checked in, and the Timberwolves also making a change. Zhang's checked in. Suns trail by 9. And the wide open shot from Bledsoe. Drills it from outside. Bledsoe's got 11.
Pull-up jumper from Bledsoe looking lethal. This is why you got to play up on him at all times.
Three-pointer, Butler drills it from outside. And the Timberwolves lead by 9.
And that's from beyond, guys, right back at you.
Yeah, that's a nice response there, leaving a voicemail in return from the three-point line. Looks like we're seeing similar game plans right now.
Bledsoe passes to Chris. They get a hand on it. Muhammad with the steal. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Williams with the defensive effort.
The defensive reaction time, it was just immediate on that one.
And sometimes the most important part of that is the angle that the defender chooses. That time, he chose wisely.
Yeah, one of the few bright spots for his team. I mean, he's had a very efficient offensive performance.
No doubt without these contributions, they'd be in a much deeper hole in this one, no question.
And so it's Minnesota with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. And don't go away. We'll be right back.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime
We so
Show.
hope you enjoyed our first half. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the halftime report. It's Minnesota out in front at the half. They have a 6-point lead. Kenny, what's your take?
Well, their reserves showed up tonight, not just on hustle plays, but in points. And that's what you got to do coming off the bench to maximize your minutes.
Shaq, what'd you think about? And we're just about ready for the start.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. You gotta... Timberwolves leading by 6. Here's who Tom Thibodeau is starting the second half with. Gibson is the 4 with Towns in the middle. Brooks out there with Jimmy Butler. And it's Muhammad in at the small forward.
And defensively, this is the opposite of how you want to start the second half.
Yeah, it's like 4 teenagers at home over the summer, just not enough activity. You've gotten your rest. It's time to man up.
And there's the call on Shabazz Muhammad. That is his first foul of the game. And here are the Suns now. Bledsoe outside. And that's out of bounds. Phoenix will retain possession. And with a quick break on the court, we've got some time to show you the list of the top rookie shot blockers over the course of the last month. 5th is Josh Jackson.
He's been a factor on the inside. An impressive stretch for him defensively.
6 to shoot. Williams dishes to Bledsoe. Over Brooks. No good from Bledsoe. Minnesota's gone 6 of 11 when they've taken the three-point shot tonight. Very respectable. Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. Suns trail by 10. Jackson kicks to Bledsoe. There's a screen by Williams. Knocked loose. Booker outside. Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Towns. Good once again. That makes him 8 for 9 this game.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Butler against Booker. 90 seconds now into the second half. It's going to be out of bounds. The Suns will retain possession.
just active defensively here, being extremely disruptive.
Like the aggressiveness and a great effort just to get a hand on it.
On the wing, Williams, just 4 to shoot. Over Gibson. The shot by Williams, no good. Timberwolves leading by 12. Gibson passes to Brooks. Good for another bucket. He's made half a dozen now, 6 for 8 on the night.
I'm not sure what the coach said at halftime, but whatever it did, it's lit a fire. They're now 4 of 4 from the field to start their offense here in the second half.
Bledsoe kicks to Booker. Shot to stop the run. That's short off the rim.
And they just cannot seem to get it going so far in this half, missing their first 3 shots.
2 points. That one goes. 18 points for Karl-Anthony Towns.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
Here's Bledsoe, and it's blocked.
Ugh, ugly start to the second half. They've missed their first 4. They've got to get on track.
Here's Towns, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. Well, Towns does so many things on the floor, already an elite post scorer. But Greg, one area that he has struggled with at times is his defense against other bigs.
And I think he'll continue to improve in that area. What happens with young guys, though, is oftentimes you're improved how good I am mode when you're young, and you lose sight of some of the things that help you win games. And I think that's one reason why he had one of the worst defensive RPMs in the entire league. But young bigs tend to take a bit longer to develop into great defenders, and I expect he will follow in that line.
Timeout call, the Suns. Karl-Anthony Towns with a strong contribution so far in this one.
And they simply have no answer right now for what he's doing to them. He is making them pay.
We see a chart here for the shooting performance so far for Towns.
And really what jumps out to me about this shot chart is just how aggressive he's been when on the floor. I mean, he's doing everything he can to get as close to the hoop as possible before putting up that shot, and it's worked out in a big way for him and his team.
Shot to end this cold run. That's good from Booker on the assist by Bender.
And they get one. Now 1 of 5 here in the third.
Towns is doubled. Down low, here's Butler, and slam dunk by Butler.
And you got to like what they're doing offensively, executing at a high rate and starting to pile it on.
Yeah, we're sitting here midway through the game now, and we're starting to see them take more and more control. They look very confident in what they're doing.
And it goes out of bounds. That one off Gibson. Warren's checked in for Allen Williams. Ulis kicks to Warren. Elbow shot is on the way. It doesn't go for him. And Minnesota now the other way. Gibson dishes to Muhammad. Gibson passes to Towns. And he goes big with a dunk right over Dragan Bender.
And whatever the adjustments at halftime, they are looking really good right now.
Yeah, scratching my head trying to remember the last time that they missed. They're on an absolute tear.
Warren, good.
Well, he's like a carpenter out there. Great floor awareness. Zipping the ball over to his teammates with ease.
Outside Butler. Jones kicks to Muhammad. And the dunk by Towns.
And, you know, it's one thing to get the offensive rebound, but then how about the loud bucket he's able to convert?
He was in perfect position under the hoop, Greg. You're right. Once he gets his hands on the miss. Ulis kicks to Jackson. And that comes off the assist by Ulis. 10 points for Josh Jackson.
And Jackson is solid working off the screens. A smart player who knows what spot on the floor to move to.
Back to Muhammad. Shoots. Bender with the rebound. Bender's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Jackson with it. Now defended by Muhammad. Muhammad with the steal. And now here comes Jones leading the Brooklyn. Oh!
Yikes.
Wow.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
And the foul called on Tyus Jones. That is his first foul of the game. Some changes for Phoenix. Jared Dudley's checked in for Jackson. And it's Brandon Knight in for Booker. And a change for the Timberwolves. Mahimi's checked in. Ulis kicks to Dudley. Shoots over Towns. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Dudley's got 14.
And how about the bounce pass there being used to perfection?
That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
Bender with the bucket.
And not only is Bender physically imposing down low, he also can stretch the floor with his perimeter shooting. He's lethal from deep.
Count it. Mahimi's got 4 points this quarter.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
Knight kicks to Warren. Dudley with a screen on Muhammad. Over in the corner, Bender. Another 3 for Phoenix.
Yeah, D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
Here's Mahimi. And Mahimi with the stuff.
And you can see it. They're in a nice rhythm in terms of shooting. It's been that way the entire second half.
And then there's the other team. Can't say that about them. Big gap in the recent field goal percentage between these two squads.
Knocks it loose. Fast break, Minnesota. Butler kicks to Muhammad. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got 5 assists in the game.
And it's about the tempo, guys. It favors them, and just look at that score.
Yeah, I'm a little bit exhausted here trying to keep up with these guys, and I'm just watching. They always attempt to wear you out.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Towns dishes to Jones. Butler. And slam dunk by Butler.
And you got to admire Butler. I mean, when he's got space to rise up for the finish, he does not hesitate.
Ulis kicks to Warren. They set the screen to the inside. Deft touch on the alley-oop.
My goodness. Save that one. I want to see that again.
Me too. Just absolutely beautiful. Here's Towns. Here's Mahimi. And good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points. Mahimi's got 8 points here in this quarter. Suns trail by 18. Ulis kicks to Warren. Now, here's Ulis. D right on him. And slam dunk by Butler.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Terrific anticipation using the hands. How are you not protecting the basketball in that situation?
Knight, that's a 2-pointer. Rebound, Minnesota. Towns has got 5 rebounds tonight. Left side, Jones. Here's Mahimi. Here's Towns, and the dunk by Towns.
He's just so efficient, getting his points within the flow of the offense. Great recipe for success.
Phoenix has gotten all 4 of the 3-point shots to go down since halftime. They're lighting it up here. Knight against Butler. Knight kicks to Dudley. That's good. The assist that time from Knight. Dudley's got 20.
The defense is far too slow to close out on those 3-point attempts.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout.
Yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity to kind of regroup and discuss ways to maximize these possessions.
Yeah, and therein lies the trick, discussing ways to be aggressive, but not committing turnovers.
for the Suns. Chris comes in for Warren. Timberwolves also changing it up. Jang, he's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. Crawford comes in for Shabazz Muhammad. And Brooks subbed in for Jones. Mahinmi kicks to Jang. In the corner, it's Crawford. Timberwolves passing it around. Here's Mahinmi. Trying to get open is Jang. Mahinmi's shot is good. Mahinmi's got 10 points in just the second half. Glenn, a screen. Now, here's Ulis. Brooks covering.
Always tough to work the closer you get to the basket. Nice job of finding an angle on the pass there.
Minnesota leading by 19 points. Up top, Mahinmi. And it's Mahinmi finishing it off.
Oh, you hear that sound? That's the flushing of the toilet right there.
Greg, a fierce two-hander. And turnovers have been the issue for him.
You can see the coaches have gotten into him a little bit about this. They've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
Crawford against Knight. And Mahinmi has it in the corner. To the middle. Brooks, the pass to Mahinmi. Back to Brooks. And Jang kicks to Mahinmi. And it's Phoenix with the rebound.
And forcing the miss there. He just knows how to pressure you defensively.
You hear a lot about rim protection. This is a good example of how valuable it can be.
And Mahinmi with the stuff.
Well, Crawford with the ball, it's second nature there, ripping apart the defense, this time not with the handle, but with the pass.
And Alex Len, the 5th overall pick from the 2013 draft, is with all young centers, Brent. He took some time to adjust to the league.
Well, he will turn 25 years old during the season, so you wonder if Phoenix's style of play is something that ends up winning out rather than what Alex Len provides for you in terms of his size, his ability down low to block shots and maybe score some points. But he's a center that still has potential.
Chris, offensive rebound. Len, good. Len's got 4 this quarter.
And not relying at all on the three-point shot. They may want to rethink about stretching the defense a bit like they did in that first half.
Butler dishes to Mahinmi. Brooks outside. Back to Mahinmi. Len grabs the board. Len's got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Dudley, and the rejection by Jang. 51 seconds left to play in the third. Kicks it to Mahinmi. Back to Brooks. He feeds it to Jang. Land against Mahinmi. Butler in the corner. Shot clock at 3. The shot by Mahinmi, no good. The Sun squad struggling. Ulis kicks to Chris. And that comes off the assist by Ulis. Ulis has got assist number 11 for him here tonight. There's 21 seconds left in the third quarter. Now Brooks. He's got 12. Crawford outside. To the middle. It's Brooks on the wing. Puts up a 3. Cans it from downtown. Brooks has got 15 points. Here's Len, and the rejection by Mahinmi. It's been all about Karl Anthony Towns for Minnesota. A grand total of 28 points for him in the game now. They have no answer for him defensively. Back to the action after this word. And now we take a listen into the recent huddle from Tom Thibodeau.
Defensively, make sure we're all getting rebounded. No second shot. In transition, everyone talking. No open threes in transition.
And Tom Thibodeau wanting his team to pay particular attention to certain areas of their defense.
Yeah, taking care of the defensive boards, allowing no easy baskets on the fast break. These are key elements in terms of you having success.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. Booker and Jackson, the young perimeter pair. Allen Williams out there with Chris. And it's Bledsoe in at the point guard. That's who's out there for Phoenix. And Jang gets it to go.
And have to defend better in the paint. They just let him set up way too deep.
Well, he's going to punish you down there if you're not more physical than he is, and look for them to go right back to that play.
There's a screen by Chris. Here's Bledsoe. Slides through for his 7th basket in 11 tries.
I can't be frustrated at him tonight. He's doing his job. I'd like to see his guys step up a little more.
Back to Brooks. And stolen by Chris. And Phoenix pushing it up now. Here's Booker. Another one falls for Phoenix.
Booker getting down to business on the defensive end. Terrific at knowing when to go for the steal.
Left side, Gibson. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
Suns trail by 21. Here's Chris. And Chris throws it down.
Booker finding the open man that time, trying to get his teammates going.
And Gibson kicks to Butler. Back to Gibson. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
Yeah, just solid work on the back end of that play.
Yep, you're right. Finished hard with 2 hands on that stuff. Bledsoe against Brooks. Bledsoe outside. There's a screen by Chris. Booker outside. Off target from 3-point range. Minnesota leading by 21. Inside. Here's Crawford. The kick outside to Butler. And there's the 3-second violation. Brent, when we look at some of the classic rivalries between teams, they don't always look as emotionally charged nowadays. Is there a way you think to get that back?
Well, the first thing I do, Kevin, is not try to manufacture anything. The second thing I would avoid is please don't bring up the Lakers-Celtics rivalry in the 80s. And the last thing I would make you conscious of is the fact that, look, players are moving around so often that it's hard to get years and years of the same matchup with the same guys on the roster. Now, look, accept the competition for what it is, and if we get another one where teams are facing one another more often, then let's enjoy it for what it is.
Suns trail by 19. Jackson passes to Bledsoe. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. And that's 19 points for Eric Bledsoe.
Eric Bledsoe continues to work on that range to get more consistent. That time knocks down the 3.
Brooks kicks to Gibson. Butler in the corner. Offensive rebound. Gibson dishes to Jang. And finished off by Jang.
I like that recognition. Effortlessly getting his teammate the ball in a spot where he knows he can do something with it.
Crawford against Jackson. And now here's Chris. Guarded closely. And he banks in the layup.
Chris finding a nice rhythm in this game and getting to the spots on the floor where he can be most effective.
Minnesota leading by 16. Brooks the pass to Gibson. Outside Butler. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. And Jang kicks to Gibson. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
And have to defend better in the paint. They just let him set up way too deep.
Well, he's going to punish you down there if you're not more physical than he is, and look for them to go right back to that play.
Bledsoe dishes to Booker. At the top of the key, Williams. Here's Bledsoe. Good again. He's on tonight. 9 for 13 shooting.
This is a guy whose mindset just never changes. Even when they're losing, he's always going to be aggressive.
Gibson passes to Jang. And finished off by Jang.
Commending the unselfish play there. What vision on that pass.
Suns trail by 18. And here's Booker. He dishes it to Bledsoe. There's a screen by Chris. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. Taj Gibson picks one up.
Just watch Eric Bledsoe out there and just the athleticism that he can play with at that position. Seems like he's still getting stronger and faster every year. He's got tremendous burst and tremendous power. Tough for opposing point guards to match that kind of physicality.
Bender, he's checked in for Chris. And the Timberwolves also making a change. Muhammad, he's checked in for Jamal Crawford. Booker against Butler. With some arc, and 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And for Bledsoe, it is said that he greatly improved his diet since establishing himself in the league.
Well, I like the fact that Eric Bledsoe has taken this a lot more seriously. Of course, he's a very physical player, plays the point guard position, and with that kind of taxing work on your body, best thing you could do is make sure you fuel it up for that kind of action.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Towns is checked in.
Gibson, a smart player, terrific at taking good quality shots within his range. This is how he gets himself going.
Here's Bender, and a great assist by Bledsoe as that one goes in. 10 points for Bender.
Even though they're still trailing, he continues to be lights out from the field. What a competitor.
Back to Butler. Jackson against Muhammad. Butler kicks to Muhammad. Here's the dish to Gibson. Feeds to Towns. Towns is doubled. Stolen by Bender. And now the Suns, a fast break. Jackson's got the ball, and it's in there.
It was one of the things everybody talked about. Jackson has a terrific IQ and turned himself into an opportunistic defender, not afraid to take a chance and come up with the steal.
And Gibson, here we go. Stolen by Bender. And even 3-on-3 break. Shoot from the right block, and Jackson finishes inside. Jackson's got 4 this quarter.
And Jackson sinks these shots with consistency. Even when the D is there, he has an innate ability to keep that focus on the basket.
Well, he got off to a terrific start from the perimeter, but in the second half, he can't seem to build on that early success.
And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Hey, Greg, when you watch Josh Jackson play, it's easy to see that he can eventually be one of the best defenders in the league if he works at it.
The blocks and steals, I think, will always be there for Jackson with that length. As he progresses as a player, though, he should improve in the little things. It reminds you a bit of a young Andre Iguodala at times with how explosive he can be athletically.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
Williams, a screen on Brooks. Here's Bender. Good, and Bledsoe gets the assist. 13 points for Bender.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Yeah, and then the fear sets in that you're going to create driving lanes that could lead to easy buckets. This is not an easy fix.
Towns is doubled. Stolen by Bender. Booker with no one around. Another 3 for Phoenix.
Yeah, there's 6 points on consecutive 3 balls. They're finding holes now in the D.
Muhammad on the wing. To the left side wing. The kick outside to Butler. Here's Towns. Here's Gibson. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Gibson's got 12 points here in the second half.
Boy, has he put his foot on the pedal here this quarter. He's doing a terrific job in terms of leading their offense.
Bledsoe against Brooks. And there's the foul. It'll go on Aaron Brooks. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. T.J. Warren, he's checked in for Phoenix. Knocks it loose. Now here's Butler. And Muhammad kicks to Towns. That shot off the mark. Suns trail by 9. On up the court. Warren, good.
And nicely done. Running the floor well, then attacking the rim.
The exclamation point in transition with the high percentage finish.
Phoenix has gone to three-point range for 12 of their points in the final quarter on 4 of 5 shooting. Bender dishes to Bledsoe. Here's Williams. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Taj Gibson picks one up, and that one falls for Williams. And Williams drops them both.
And they came out of the locker room after halftime with a much more physical approach than what we saw in that first half.
And defensively, neither side able to get many stops.
Well, it's one of those nights where if a team down the stretch can get 1 or 2 stops, they may win it.
And there's the foul. It'll go on Aaron Brooks. That will get him his 4th foul of the game, and due to the bonus, we'll head to the line for 2. And he makes the first. And Brent, over the course of the last few seasons, we've seen Bledsoe move into more of a playmaking role.
Well, I think at the point guard position, you need to be a vocal leader. That's something that the coaching staff has continued and encouraged him to do. There's a lot of young players around him, and sometimes that guidance can help you be a little more consistent throughout the course of a 48-minute game.
And here's Booker from the arc. Good, and Bledsoe gets the assist. And that's now 29 points for Devin Booker.
He's building off that strong first half he had. I'm not sure the defense will be able to figure him out in the second.
Well, they're passing to Towns. Towns is doubled. And stolen by Booker. The shot. It's rebounded by Towns.
And listen, you can't design a play any better to get a look that good. Just couldn't knock it down.
The best players know that is going to happen, and you just can't let it get into your head. It's a shot that you want to take.
And there's the foul. It'll go on Aaron Brooks. That'll be foul number 5 on him, and due to the bonus, we'll be headed to the free throw line. That one is off.
And Bledsoe, man, such a good, efficient combo guard. He can score, he can pass, he can rebound. What a tough cover.
Towns kicks to Brooks. Score that one for him. His 8th field goal. 8 for 11 on a very accurate night.
And every move he makes looks like the right one at this point.
Yeah, shooting at a very high percentage right now. This one extending the lead.
Over in the corner, Williams. From 11 feet away. Nice touch on the bank shot. Williams has got 4 points in the quarter.
Bledsoe becoming more and more comfortable with the role of floor general. Some turnovers necessary. That one, not so much.
Suns trail by 6. There's a good screen. Tipped away. Here's Brooks. Tries again, and Towns lays it in. Towns has got 30 points.
And this is what happens when you fail to block out.
Defensive rebounding just as important as causing the miss in the first place.
There's a screen by Williams. Warren a screen on Brooks. 4 on the clock. And with that shot, the Minnesota lead is cut down to 6 and the bucket from Eric Bledsoe.
Eric Bledsoe hungry to score. He's doing a great job of it right now.
Butler kicks to Towns. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. That's now 32 points for Karl Anthony Towns. Brooks against Bledsoe. There's the pick. He kicks it to Warren. From outside, off the mark. So it's Minnesota now. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead. And Gibson, here we go. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
Running up the score, showing no mercy.
Well, you want to close the door on any type of comeback effort. This has been a vault. Ka-ching.
You're right. Phoenix calls timeout. They're trailing by 10. 35 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And now we've got a moment for our Jordan Player of the Game, Karl Anthony Towns.
And what an amazing ball game we've seen from him. It's been a one-man show worth the price of admission all by itself. There wasn't anything he couldn't do on that court tonight.
Well, to come in here facing a hostile crowd and have a game like he's had, That's what separates the good players from the great players. Here's what Phoenix has got going on right now. Lenz checked in for Bender. Chris comes in for Allen Williams. Brandon Knight's checked in for Booker. And Tyler Hughes subbed in for Eric Bledsoe. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Bielitz. He's covered by Warren. Mahimi's shot is good.
Timeout.
And the Timberwolves lead by 10.
I'll tell you, when you're the visiting team, it can be hard to maintain focus, but not tonight.
Tonight they have stuck with what they do well, handling all the exterior pressure, and they're likely to come out on top here.
Timeout call, the Suns. They're behind by 10. 17 seconds left in the game. Guys, your thoughts?
Yeah, this has been rough all the way around. I mean, coming in with high hopes and then just now trying to finish the best they can.
And I think that's exactly what we're going to see. Fight all the way through, even to the bitter end.
"17 seconds left in the game. Chris kicks to Knight. And here's Warren for three. Yes, and Knight with the assist that time.
And they're just living beyond the arc here, really the entire fourth quarter.
Yeah, not a bad time to be ripping the nets from distance, piling up some major points here.
Hewlett missed. And so Minnesota takes the win. They came in here and took care of business like they were the home team.
And Kevin, how about the mental toughness that this group showed? They were never rattled at all by the opposing fans.
And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long and good night, everyone.